Welcome to the Fantasy Fling Daily Fantasy Sports channel. This is Fantasy Fling. We are looking at underdog drafts. I'm going to start out with the weekly winners. Best ball meets DFS content. Going to see what won last week. Jump right into the week 10 daily drafts that won. Maybe look on drafters a little bit, actually. Maybe do that as well, too. And then we're going to do a live draft. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the lineup that won Lord Piper for weekly winners contest. Now, remember this type of format, you basically draft before the season starts and you're playing DFS each and every week, but you're trying to give yourself a chance to at least win one of these. So I think that's the overall strategy is, have a team with good median scoring where guys can certainly pop off here and there, which this one probably had CD Lamb, right? Keenan Allen. So a lot of these guys actually loaded at wide receiver. So just looking at this lineup, pretty obvious to me, this was a 0 RB build. So Dak Prescott was the quarterback, and it was a stack with CD Lamb and also Brandon Cooks. So a double stack. And also this had Keenan Allen and Amon-Ra. So really heavy at wide receiver. I'm guessing CD Lamb. Yeah, that was pick 11. So picking at the end probably went Lamb and no, not Allen. Lamb and Amon-Ra potentially. Yeah. So picked at 11, then there was 12, 13, came back around and got Amon-Ra. So heavy build, and this is exactly why you do these builds. Specifically picking right there, ended up winning $20,000. And let's see any more stacks that he obviously had. So he had Russell Wilson and Jordan Love as his other quarterbacks. So Jaden Reed, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. At tight end also got Schultz in there. So, a lot of Dallas. Also targeted Denver and Green Bay. So got some good value there with those teams. Trey McBride, Dalton Schultz, and Luke Musgrave. And then 0 RB build. Brian Robinson did enough. Najee Harris, same thing. Rashad White. So, a good core of running backs for this lineup. Let's see what won second place. I'm guessing it's going to be more Dak. So Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks. Let's see. There's Ferguson in there as well. Very similar build. So all the top guys, actually. Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Amon-Ra. Running back, Robinson, Dowdle, Stevenson, Algier, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jeff Wilson. It's a very different running back. But as far as, the wide receivers, very similar build. So let's go ahead and look at the drafts from last week. The week 10 main slate. Let's see what won the battle royale. Of course, this is a big 56,000. Actually, it's dropped a little bit. So a little bit of a smaller contest now, but we like that. Better chance to win it. So the top lineup, 176 points, very close near the top of the leaderboard. So we'll take a look at a few of these. Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, and that was it. So yeah, the double stacks don't really happen as often with these lineups because it's going to be in this type of build. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots that you're drafting. So, you're putting in the stack. Maybe you do double stack at tight end, but you really need just outlier performance from your wide receivers, and it's very difficult to do with the double stack of wide receiver. So good on him. Got CeeDee Lamb, and obviously got Keenan Allen. So 2 top wide receivers on the slate, and then smashed at tight end with Hawkinson as well. Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, just overall great lineup across the board. And this one did 3 wide receivers. So as opposed to 2 running backs, did Lamb, Keenan Allen, and then Chris Olave. Still very similar. Both had Gibbs and TJ Hawkinson in there. The difference was just Olave versus I think it was Kenneth Walker. And so this one had 3 wide receivers as well. CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans. TJ Hawkinson it's looking like the staple, right? So basically, in every lineup so far, we have seen Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, and TJ Hawkinson. Look at a couple more of these. Dak, Lamb, Allen, Evans. This one had Kittle, so a little different, but also the return of Gibbs. So pretty good stuff overall. I think we're going to do a live draft right now, actually, and then kind of wrap this one up. I thought I was logged in here with drafters, so I guess not. So let's see the main slate. Let's see what we got here. Dog Bowl qualifier. Here's the Battle Royale. This one's even smaller. 45,000. Okay. These normally fill pretty fast, so yep. 50 seconds. So this week, I think, is going to be a little tricky at quarterback. There's a few, I'll just kind of start with a couple builds that I think will be viable. You might see if these games end up being a blowout like you saw last week with Dak stacks. You would have thought they would just run the ball down the Giants' throats, but they ended up just being pass happy. There's a couple teams on the slate that I think could potentially do that. Miami going against Las Vegas, so Tua stacks are back in play. Also, we got Devin Achon is back, and Dallas in a similar spot going against Carolina. I think I would probably go back to Pollard in this spot because apparently they want to get him more involved. But I could totally see that stack playing out. Other than that, there's a couple game environments I really want to target. Chicago going against Detroit. So it looks like I'm picking last year. Chicago going against Detroit. I like both sides of that. Goff, Justin Fields. Justin Fields is back. That game is projected as one of the highest scoring games on the slate at 48 points. Actually, the highest scoring, next to tied for the highest scoring slate next to Arizona and Houston. So I like that game environment too. I prefer that, that would be the quarterbacks. Those would be the quarterbacks that I would be targeting. Goff, Fields, Kyler Murray, and CJ Stroud. Both sides of that. So this started out with McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Austin Eckler, and CeeDee Lamb. And I'm really hoping Amon-Ra is going to be there, but I don't think he is. He's not. This is going to be a hard slate, I think. Picking here. I don't like it, but I think I'm going to load up on wide receivers right away. I think that's going to be my plan. Not forcing a stack right away. I started with Keenan Allen and Cooper Kupp. I actually like Cooper Kupp this week with Stafford coming back, going against Seattle. That's a pretty high scoring game. Projected game. And Los Angeles is a 24-point implied team total. So I think I'd like Cooper Kupp, and I like maybe forcing a stack in that game. Getting like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I could totally see that. Also, maybe bringing it back with Kenneth Walker. So there's a few ways you can go in that game. So after I took Keenan Allen a Kupp, we got Travis Etienne, Jamar Gibbs. I'm going to see what is available at running back. I really like the value running backs this week. Brian Robinson is a guy, I think, going against the New York Giants. Antonio Gibson is doubtful. I think that's a smash. Also like Devin Singletary going against Houston. So we'll see how this falls for me. I might just take two running backs back to back. And maybe do like CJ Stroud and Trey McBride. I'm not sure. So we saw Tank Dell, Etienne, Gibbs, Dell, Stephon Diggs. And I'm 6 picks away. So Waddle, Adams, like that, Tua. Running backs, they are fallen. Couple quarterbacks I might target when do a tight end stack would be like Justin Fields or Kyler Murray. I like both the tight ends there. Because I think I might take 2 running backs back to back with both be Brian Robinson and Devin Singletary. I just really like the spots for both of these guys. And Brian Robinson just went, you know what? I'm going to YOLO it, and I'm going right back to Tony Pollard. People are going to be scared to play him. I think this is actually a good spot. CeeDee Lamb was saying they want to get him more involved. So I'm playing him. Okay. So I really wanted Robinson, but he went before me. So, had to pivot a little bit there. Let's see where we're at a quarterback. So Justin Fields is still on the board. CJ Stroud. Stroud will definitely be gone by the time I pick. We got Laporta and Jacobs. DJ Moore. So I will be, after I make my last 2 picks, I'm gonna, kind of go over the rest of the slate real quick, some of the top plays that I like, and then we will finish this thing up. So Kittle, Pukunakua, DJ Moore, those are the last 3 picks. There just went Trey McBride. So doing the Kyler Murray to Trey McBride stack is probably not going to be doable right now. I'm 4 picks away. I'm really hoping Justin Fields does not go because I can stack him and Cole Kmet. Also, Goff and Laporta. So, I still have a few options, I think, to go ahead and get that stack figured out. So we'll see how this ends up. Stroud is still on the board, too. I'm a little surprised by this. There went Fields. I'm guessing Stroud will probably go here. But if not, I can also do Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid. So I have several options. We'll see how this all shakes out. There went Evans. There went Goff. So, wow. Stroud is still there. Do I want to do him and like Schultz? I think Schultz actually went because there's no way he would be way down here. So I think actually, he's right there. There it is. So that's going to be the play. Went ahead and did CJ Stroud with Dalton Schultz as a stack. Tony Pollard, Devin Singletary, both I think in great spots this week, matchup wise. It's about as good as it gets. And Keenan Allen and Cooper Kupp. So pretty good overall draft. I like it. We're going to finish this thing out. Going to kind of just go over some of the plays that I like real quick to target in drafts, in DFS, if we're talking drafts or we're talking DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever it may be. I really like Austin Eckler this week. I feel like he's in a smash spot going against the Packers. They're not very good against the run. And, I feel like a lot of the field is just kind of overlooking Eckler because he really hasn't had a ceiling game this year. So I like Eckler. Like I said, Devin Singletary, I think he's in a great spot. I also like James Conner and Brian Robinson. Those would be, I think all those 3 guys are really good value plays this week. And then Tony Pollard. So the main reason with Pollard is CeeDee Lamb has said that they're going to get him more involved, and this is a really good spot to attack Carolina. So I actually am going back there. I think we're going to do it. As far as wide receiver, I think Tyreek Hill is a top option. CeeDee Lamb, could be the same scenario against Panthers, but it's going to be much more difficult to get there this week. So I would lean like Tyreek Hill and Amon-Ra in this matchup. I think Devontae Adams could do a good amount of garbage time. And, I don't hate like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams stacks. I think that one could certainly go off. Houston and Arizona, I like both sides of that. Nico Collins is back. I like him. I like Tank Dell. Schultz, obviously, who I just drafted at tight end. On the Arizona side, Rondale Moore, he got pretty heavily involved last week, so he's a good value to target late. Marquise Brown would be the prime stacking option with Kyler Murray. I like DJ Moore now that Justin Fields is back. I feel like he's going to be quite a bit overlooked, so he's a guy that I am certainly looking to target. Cooper Kupp with Stafford back, as I mentioned, and who I just drafted here. I think if you're playing stacks on the other side, you're looking for DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett if you're trying to stack that game. At tight end, there's some really good spots. Trey McBride obviously would be the top guy. I like Cole Kmet as well with Fields specifically. The other side of that game, Laporta had a down week last week, but this could be a good bounce back spot for him going against a poor Chicago secondary. Dalton Kincaid, he's been seeing a lot of targets, and he just looks great out there with Josh Allen. So as a standalone or as a stacking option, I think Dalton Kincaid is a good play. And then Pat Fryermuth, he's a guy I think you get the last round. And gosh, you probably won't even need to go there, but no one's going to be on him. He's expected to be activated. Then Donald Parham is another guy with Everett out. So that will wrap it up for this week. Thank you for joining me. I'm actually going to start putting out a lot more content on my channel. Got a guy joining me. We're going to start doing the weekly Wednesday showdown. And we are actually going to get into a little bit of the Thanksgiving slate. So look out for that on Wednesday night as we'll be recording that. And that's going to wrap it up. Thank you. Best of luck this week. We will see you all on Wednesday.